This is an old classic. If you're like me, you grew up watching this game the day after Thanksgiving. They joined different conferences. Nebraska Cornhuskers at the Colorado Buffaloes. I'm going to get into that in just a second. Hey, I'm Brian. I am not Bobby Durkins, at least not here. If you're brand new, thanks for joining me. If you're a return viewer or subscriber or supporter, hey, I'm glad you're here. If you want to support the channel, subscribe. That's the easiest way. If you like what you hear today, subscribe. It's free. Hit the thumbs up and hit the notifications. Also, if you want to support the channel on a monthly basis, there's a $3 tier, there's a $5 tier. You won't even notice it coming out of your bank account. So I appreciate the support. Also, super thanks. The hottest team in America right now. Now, if you're a Florida State fan, you'll say it's us because, well, I mean, yeah, Colorado, what they've done is fantastic, but Florida State's on a championship level. They're focused on the championship or a playoff run. But the most talked about team in college football is the Colorado Buffaloes. We know this because of the immediate offseason hire of NFL legend, sports legend, Deion Sanders. And Deion came in out of Jackson State, and he brought the hoopla. He brought guys like Travis Hunter, the number one recruit in the country, that he got to go to Jackson State. He brought him and a slew of others to Boulder, Colorado. Nebraska, on the other hand, hires former Baylor head coach, former Carolina Panthers head coach, Matt Rhule. Now, I don't blame Matt Rhule for the whole not doing so well in the NFL. You know me. My thoughts are the vast majority of them are a bunch of whiny babies, so I don't know how you coach them. Great job, Belichick. But Matt Rhule can coach football. These two programs are at very different places. They both had bad seasons last year. In fact, Nebraska's had better seasons in the past 20 years than, say, Colorado, okay? But Colorado came out this past week against TCU. Now, I don't think TCU was a great team, but that Colorado has been this bad for so long. Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur Sanders, came out through for over 500 yards. Travis Hunter put on a clinic. People are already talking about the Heisman for him. There's already other fantastic players that's out there playing for them. And while everybody's talking about Travis Hunter on the Colorado side, I mean, Dylan Edwards came out and did a fantastic job. He came out, had 5 receptions, 135 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So, in your mind, after knowing that they did that great, and then going to Nebraska, and Nebraska lost the game by 3 points to Minnesota. It's another single-digit loss by Nebraska. That has plagued them. Remember last year, they lost to Northwestern by 3 points. They lost to they lost to Georgia Southern by 3 points. They lost to Purdue by 6 points last year. They lost to Minnesota by 7. They lost to Wisconsin by 1 point. Another single-digit loss for them, meaning that's under 10 points. It's just crazy. So you would think that tomorrow's game at 12 o'clock on Fox, you would think that Colorado is going to be a 2 or 3 touchdown favorite. According to the line right now, and lines are lines, but they do have a pretty good indication. Colorado is a 3-point favorite. What? You mean the team that balled out against TCU in the very first game? Even with all the hype, they didn't let the hype get to them, and they won? You mean Shedeur Sanders with that 500-plus yards? You mean Travis Hunter doing his thing? You're talking about Edwards with 5 receptions and 135 yards receiving? They're only a 3-point favorite. That's right. So why? If Nebraska's offense, which by the way, Jeff Sims, former big recruit who went to Georgia Tech. You remember Jeff Sims could have went to Florida State. In fact, I think he was committed to Florida State about 3 years ago and ended up going to Georgia Tech. And before you knock him, remember Jahmyr Gibbs, the guy that's in the NFL right now, the guy that played starting running back for Alabama last year. Remember, he was at Georgia Tech with Jeff Sims. So if Jeff made a dumb decision, so did Jahmyr. That's what type of athlete Jeff Sims is. But he went out this past week. He threw 3 interceptions. Nebraska fans are not so happy with him. I don't blame them. I mean, heck, look who you're talking to. I mean, you're talking to a guy whose team turned over the ball twice inside the 5-yard line at Duke. Yeah, Duke's a way better football team than what they've been, but still, Clemson with their athletes, I know they shouldn't be doing that. So I get it. 3 interceptions. He was 11 of 19, 114 yards, 1 touchdown. Then you look across the way and you see Sanders, 38 of 47, 510 yards, 4 touchdowns. But Jeff Sims also rushed 19 carries for 91 yards. There's probably a sack or 2 mixed in there. I don't know. I didn't see that stat. 3 points. What does Vegas know that you and I don't? What do I look for in this game? First of all, I truly believe that the hysteria over Colorado has grown even more since that game. I really believe it. The question is, what do they do with it? The world is on your side, Colorado. I have people who's coming on my message boards who's telling me, hey, man, since Clemson seems to be checking out, I'm going to start checking out Colorado. I'm going to watch Colorado. You know why I'm going to watch Colorado? It's because it seems like they're fun. They're having fun. Like Clemson used to have fun. When you watch their offense, your teeth didn't hurt like it was abscessed, or your head didn't hurt because it was fun to watch. Colorado is fun to watch. How do they respond to that? How? Now, I'll tell you what I expect. I expect Colorado to come back out, face some initial pushback from Jeff Sims and Nebraska. I expect at the beginning Nebraska's defense to come out and try to play with them. I look for Matt Rule to look at Jeff Sims and say, hey, pal, listen to me. I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me well. I want you, Jeff, to come in, forget last week happened. You learn from it, but you forget it. And we're going to call some plays. We're going to use you more on a running basis. We're going to run you more. We're going to push you and we're going to push Colorado by running you more. That's what we're going to do. And the passes we're going to get you to throw, what do you do with a quarterback who is either unproven or maybe just had a bad game or maybe needs some more experience? You get them comfortable. So we don't need you to be a hero right now. We know the media's over there. They're flashing their cameras, Jeff. They're, they're enamored with Dion, and I'm coming. And you know what? He went last week, and he did what he did, and his son went off, and Travis Hunter's over there, and every other good transfer portal player A lot of them that was in the transfer portal that was worth a crap is on that team, and the other ones are on Florida State's team. And we get it, but Jeff, here, listen, Jeff. Don't worry about that. We're going to get you nice and calm. We're going to get you guys nice and acclimated. You don't have to be a superhero here. We just need you to get comfortable. We're going to play to your strengths. And I look for Matt Rule to do that. That's why I believe that Vegas believes that this is going to be a 3-point ball game. But the difference between Nebraska and Colorado is talent. Colorado in the preseason was still picked by Lindy's to finish dead last or near dead last in their conference. In fact, I'm looking at it now. Lindy's picked Colorado, even with all the transfers, with all the buzz, with looking and saying, well, hold on, well, who's in front of them? Well, Stanford and Arizona State. We still believe that Colorado is going to. But, folks, I'm going to tell you why Vegas said that Colorado still is the favorite. Talent. I'm telling you, talent matters. And Deion Sanders, so far, his coaching staff is using it. Who is his coaching staff? On the defensive coordinator, Charles Kelly. This was a guy that was at Georgia and Alabama. Alabama. And I said Georgia. I know for sure that he was at Alabama and he was at Florida State. Nix the Georgia part. Maybe he was. I can't remember. During the championship season at Florida State with famous Jameis. Sean Lewis, former head coach at Kent State. This guy can call, he can call offense. You saw it the other day, 510 yards. And they have the players, especially on the offensive side of the ball, to do it. They have the talent. So despite the game plan, which I think you're going to see it play out that way with Matt Rule. Matt Rule is a very good football coach. Stop talking about the Carolina Panthers. Nick Saban didn't do well in the NFL. He's the best college football coach probably to ever coach the game. And I feel quite safe in saying that. Next up, Steve Spurrier didn't do so well in it. So Urban Meyer didn't do well in it. And so, folks, I'm telling you, Matt Rule can coach football, and that's why it's only a 3-point favor in favor of Colorado. But I'm going to tell you this about Colorado, and you can take this to the bank. I don't believe that they're a college football playoff team. They're an exciting team to watch because they're growing. You want to see those transfer, all those guys, from no matter how talented they are, they still have to come together and play as a team. The hype of Deion Sanders can only last so long. So long. It can only last so long. They will play a team that has great players across the board and has great schemers, and that will be the day that you're going to see the cracks in the armor of the newly knighted great football team of the college football world. I can promise you that. But I just believe that Deion has the coaching and the talent. I'm talking about his coordinators. I'm talking about Charles Kelly and Sean Lewis. I believe he has that talent there, and I believe that he has the talent on the field to beat Nebraska. I believe that Nebraska is going to lose a little more than by 3 points. I'm looking for somewhere in a 7 to 10 point win by Colorado. Once again, I believe Matt Rule is going to come out and call a good game. This is not going to be a walk in the park for Colorado. If it is, I'll be shocked. I won't be floored. I won't even say shocked. I take that back. It'll be eyebrow raising. But I really believe that Colorado wins this ball game somewhere in a 7 to 10 point range. And Nebraska actually put up a pretty doggone good fight. Is there a chance Nebraska wins this game? It's slim. Yes, of course. I just think between the talent on the sidelines and talent on the field, Colorado gets it done with a 7 to 10 point win. And yeah, that's where I think this thing lands. Once again, that's 12 o'clock tomorrow on Fox. So it's going to be an interesting game. The game's going to be in Colorado. That's going to be a beautiful, beautiful game. I've always wanted to go there and see a game. My sister's actually been to Boulder, and she said it was beautiful. That's been a while ago. So, but anyway, folks, thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you do want to support the channel even more, subscribe. It's free. If you want to support on a monthly basis, there's a join button below for a really, really small amount, and also super thanks. So thank you for joining me. I call Colorado with a 7 to 10 point win. This is going to be fun. College football is back. Even when my team's not doing well, it's still college football, and it's always fun. Folks, I'll catch you next time, and as always, go Tigers.